everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be one that I've seen a couple of my favorite YouTubers, namely Carrie Dayton. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. I've seen her do this video. I'm not sure if it's one of those challenge tag type of videos, but I'm just out of ideas, so I thought it would be a fun one. It is basically weird shit that I do. I'm going to be kind of telling you things that are probably weird to other people that are totally normal to me. Let's just go ahead and get started with it, I guess. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about, I guess this isn't really one of them, but just I guess how clumsy I am. I tend to trip over literally everything. I have 2 left feet. I am the most accident prone person in the world. You can ask any of my friends, anytime they see me with anything remotely resembling a power tool, they fear for my life. If you are familiar with the Darwin Award books, I am pretty sure that my death is going to be documented in one of them because I tend to hurt myself on stupid things all the time. So the next thing, I guess it's not such a weird thing, but I cannot have anything spicy touch my food. You can ask my husband, and my husband is actually part Mexican, and so he grew up with authentic Mexican style cooking, and he is obsessed with jalapenos and spice and everything, and he pretty much hates trying to cook for me. If something spicy touched my food at all, it basically taints it, and I can't handle it at all. It's actually pretty bad, and I actually really don't like it because I have the most sensitive taste buds in the world, I swear, and it's pretty obnoxious. Like, you can't take me to any restaurant basically. The next weird thing I guess I do is the way I sleep. I'm really picky about the way I sleep. Like, I have to sleep in the exact same position every night, otherwise I'm pretty much can't sleep. So my sleeping position is I have to be, I don't know, it's hard to explain. On my side, almost completely on my stomach, but not fully. Whatever leg is on the top, I basically have to have that curled up, almost in the fetal position, up to my chest, but then the bottom leg has to be straight. And I have to have 2 pillows, and they can't be super flat, but they can't be super fluffy. I have to have like a specific level of elevation to my head, but then I have to have my bottom arm underneath the bottom pillow, and then my top arm in between the 2 pillows underneath my head. I have to have a blanket. I always have to have a blanket. Even if it's 100 degrees, I have to have a blanket. And it has to completely cover me, at least up to my shoulders, right underneath my chin, but it can't cover my face because I will get claustrophobic. But it has to totally cover my back too. And then in the summertime, I have to have my feet out. Otherwise, I'll feel like I'm suffocating. I'm very, very, very particular in the way I sleep. So the next thing that I'm really, really, really weird about, which affects me on a daily basis because it is part of my job. I have a really hard time if I can't hear somebody correctly on the phone. If I'm talking to somebody and they're either muffled or they're too quiet or there's too much noise around me and I can't hear them, I get angry. A majority of my day is spent on the phone with strangers, so it's been quite the challenge working there. To go along with that, another thing that I absolutely hate is butchering people's names. So that's the thing. I call patients all day, and sometimes they will have some hard to pronounce names. I'm so self-conscious about butchering the name. That's just another thing that I am so weird about. I don't like to butcher people's names. So if you hear me struggle to say a name, then just go ahead and correct me. So the next thing is cleaning habits. I am very weird about cleaning rags that I use around my house. I have ones that I specifically use for cleaning, and I don't let them be used for anything else. They're just my cleaning rags. And then I do have ones that I use for like my face and everything like that. Like, I don't let those touch any kind of cleaning at all. The ones that my husband has, he uses them for both, and just the thought of that makes me... He'll scrub toilets with the same rags that he'll use on his face the next time they get washed. I can't. I'm really weird about my rags. I actually don't allow them to get put into our regular laundry. I have a special laundry basket just for those rags, and I don't wash them with it, and I have to make sure that if I'm doing laundry that week, then I have to wash all of our actual clothes and everything first, and then I don't want those in my washer until I'm not going to be using my washer for the next couple days or something. So the next thing, I'm not sure if it's weird, but I have a ridiculously good memory. Mostly long-term. My short-term memory kind of sucks. Ask me about what I was just talking about 5 minutes ago in this video, and I probably couldn't recall it, but I can tell you, the lyrics to a song that I liked, 10 years ago. My brain is just this like weird bank of random useless shit. I actually have a couple of my best friends who end up calling me all hours of the night and asking me about that one actor that was in that one movie, and they will give me the tiniest bit of details, and half the time I can probably figure it out. So if you ever have any issues, trying to figure out who was in that one movie that one year with that one other actor, ask me because I'll probably know. So another thing about me is that I get disgustingly, grossly obsessed with songs. If I am hooked on a certain song at a certain moment, I will listen to it pretty much non-stop. And that includes on repeat my entire drive to work, my entire drive home from work. Don't ask me how many times Jealous by Nick Jonas can be played from my house to my old office where I used to work when the song came out. It's 7, by the way. Speaking of listening to music, the next weird thing about me is, okay, so the only time you will ever catch me singing is in the car. And I tend to sing at the top of my lungs, and I am never on key, but I do it anyway, and I do it loud and proud, except for when I pull up at a red light next to another person, then I stop. I will rock out to no end in my car, but as soon as I pull up next to a car, or as soon as I'm close enough to a car for them to see me, then it stops. Alright, so the next weird thing, I noticed that I tend to do this a lot, and I don't know where this habit came from, and I don't know how long I've been doing it, but I just noticed, just in the last probably couple months, that I tend to really do this. I cannot wash my hands without getting them wet first, because the thought of putting soap on my dry hands, I can't. I always have to wet my hands first before any soap touches it. I can't put soap on my dry hands. Along with that, I can't put toothpaste on a dry toothbrush. I have to run my toothbrush under the water first. I've done it for as long as I can remember, and so I don't know where the habit came from, but I just noticed that I've been doing it. And then the last thing that I can think of is, if you can't tell, I'm not the greatest with my words, and especially if I am confronted in any kind of way, I just fumble over my words. I can't think of anything to say. I stutter, the whole nine. Then 2 o'clock in the morning, I rethink the conversation, and all of a sudden I come up with better comebacks. I come up with witty things to say. I come up with better responses. I actually saw an internet meme about that, so I'm not alone, and it must not be that weird. Alright, so I think that about does it for weird shit that I do. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and it was fun hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.